Good evening. I'm Matt from theshavingcadre.com. Tonight I'm honing up a razor. I am honing a Filarmonica 13 by Jose Monserrat Pou. It's a double tempe, and this one needs a bevel set all the way through finish. And I was thinking about finishing it with some JNat Nagura that I have from my friend Mike. So I'm going to start with my Naniwa 1K. My Coursera is out on loan, but we have the Naniwa 1K, and then we're going to go to a Naniwa 5K, and then we're going to finish on a surgical black Arkansas with the Naguras and a Tomo. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right, and there's really not much going on with this blade. It's in great shape, very beautiful. It had a little bit that I needed to clean up. It had a tiny little bit of rust on the toe here on the back side and some fingerprints I had to clean up. But it's got a few little spots on it that need a little work, but I think it's going to come out just fine. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to get started, lay it on the stone, and she's pretty flat, so we're going to go ahead and just get started here with some X strokes. Giving a good amount of pressure, not a ton. I'm not sure if this razor was ever honed outside the factory. It came in a really nice box. I'm not seeing that it really had any serious use. Did kind of have an edge on it earlier. It would pop hairs, but it had some dings in it, and then I did some restoration work to it, so there's no way I was going to shave with it. So I went ahead and killed the edge on the side of the stone, and we are starting fresh. I'm out in my garage, if you hear a little bit of an echo. Wife's inside hanging out, watching some shows, and I figured I wouldn't drone on about honing while she's trying to watch a show. Honestly, the little bit that was on the edge is cleaning up pretty quick. It's got a really tiny bevel on it. And this 13 is a 6/8 plus. I'm going to go ahead and do some half strokes. I did about 50 half strokes. You can definitely see some swarf building in there. I just wanted to check and see if we're getting a burr along the entire edge. I don't typically do the burr method, but with these newer with a newer razor that doesn't have a whole lot of geometry issues, it's the quickest way, in my opinion, to tell if you've got yourself a nice solid bevel right out the box. And to be honest, I just did 50 half strokes, and I've got a burr all the way across the edge. So that means this bevel set's going to be real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and do another 50 half strokes on the other side, and then I'm gonna switch over and do 25 back and forth, and then I'll go ahead and reduce from there, and so on. So I'll go ahead and keep honing. All right, so that's another 50, and I should be feeling a burr all the way across on this side, and I'm not really feeling it on the heel, so I'm going to give it a little extra pressure on the heel for another 25. And she's there. So now I'm gonna go back I'm gonna start doing another 25 the other direction. So there's 25. Now I should have a burr on this side. Actually, I apologize, I should have done more. I was gonna do 25, so it should be 50. And I am no hone master. You know, I've laid some razors through hones, but I am not an authority by any means. But this is my process. I like to have a burr across the edge. And that's how I determine where I'm at. All right, so that's kind of my progression on my bevel set. It's kind of a little bit back and forth here and there to accomplish my goal. And usually I do that until I know I pretty well have the burr worked off, which I have no burr. And now I'm going to be doing X strokes, and I believe with the slight smile that I have to the heel and to the toe, I'm going to be doing some rolling X strokes with a little bit of pressure. go. We got about 20 X strokes there. We got a really nice bevel coming together. It doesn't feel like it's there quite yet. I think I will, I usually do the thumb pad test is my typical, but a lot of times I like to do the tomato test as well. The undercut as well. There's all different ways you can tell where your bevel's at. Right now the blade is undercutting the swarf and the water on the stone pretty well. Feels on the stone like the stone is starting to give me quite a bit of resistance, meaning that edge is really starting to come together. Just about to stop. Give a little visual inspection. I've got a bevel that's touching all along the blade. An edge that feels like it's gonna cut me if I put any pressure. And I'm gonna go snag a tomato real quick. And Lynn Abrams always did the cherry tomato test. You know what? It's got a little resistance at the back end. I think I'm going to give it a little bit more. All right, so I did 40 strokes. Got a solid burr. Perfect. Now we'll go 40 strokes this way with a little bit more pressure on the hook, on the heel. All right, so that's another 40 strokes. And I feel like I need to do just a little bit more on that backside. All right, I added another 30 half strokes there. I'm still struggling to pull it through on the other side. So another 40. And it's there. Here we go. All right. I'd much rather do the work now, get this metal removed, than go all the way through and have a bad edge. All right. Okay, dry the blade off, clean the swarf. We should be there really close. It looks like a lot of metal being removed, but really it's not. I mean, we've got still a pretty small bevel. Do another 25 laps. All right, now I'm gonna do some laps with light pressure, and then we'll switch up to the 5K, but we should be there. Yep. Okay, check the edge again, it should be there. Do the cherry tomato test again. We'll start here. No problemo. Okay, do a few more strokes. Move on up to the 5K. Really feel the stone giving me a lot of resistance now. It's really clear in the water. Okay. Yeah, I'm not rich like some. I don't have a whole bunch of stone holders. I just use the one and just switch my stones in and out. Whew, it's humid out here. Had the door open, and then the moths started coming in for the light, and couldn't have that, so now I'm a little warm and it's humid out here, but I think we'll be done with this pretty quick. All right. I usually start off with a little pressure on the 5K. Do some circles. Heel leading. Still removing metal. Really starting to undercut the water real well. Don't need to spend a ton of time on the 5K, in my opinion. We're going to go to the bow tan on the J-net here shortly, and that's going to take us back down to 3 to 4. Give a little bit more love to that heel. This is the first Filarmonica I've ever honed, and it's coming together all right. I mean, it took a little while there with that heel, but we also had to work through quite a bit of chipped up stuff there at the very edge, and I think that was part of what was playing into the slowness. But it's really starting to look good. It really is. I think I'll give it a little bit more, a few more laps, and then I'll lighten up and do about 25 light laps. really plowing the water now. All right, we're gonna start lightening up. Just want to stick to the stone. All right, I'm gonna call it, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video, and we will do part 2 with the arc and the Naguras. I'll catch you then.